Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight.
But with Crawford, what are Crawford's keys to victory when you are fighting someone like Canelo, who, albeit maybe not in height, but in stature, is a much bigger man than him?
Control the center of the ring.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo.
Yes. Terence.
The boxing world is ablaze with anticipation as Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have now officially put pen to paper for a blockbuster showdown. Fans, former champions, and boxing analysts are split on how this high-stakes battle will play out. Some argue that Crawford's elite technical skill set gives him a legitimate shot at victory, while others insist that Canelo's superior size and raw punching power will simply be too much to handle. Boxing icon Mike Tyson has expressed his disapproval of the bout, noting that Crawford struggled against Israel Madib due to the size difference and unorthodox style. Tyson cautions that stepping in against Alvarez at the 168-pound limit might not be the wisest move for Crawford.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight. You know, and he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, but this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that was just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky-jerky, yeah.
David Benavidez brings an interesting angle to the discussion. He feels Terence Crawford genuinely has a solid chance of emerging victorious and says he wouldn't be shocked if Crawford managed to pull off a stunning upset. In Benavidez's view, Crawford's unmatched skill set, mental discipline, and relentless work ethic could very well be the deciding factors in toppling Canelo.
It's like it's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight. And it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
All right, next question. Do you use that for motivation at all? Like Canelo's like, you know.
I definitely do use that as motivation because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am.
How would you approach a fight?
Is there scissors? Is there scissors? Ask for scissors. Go ahead.
How would you approach a fight with Terence Crawford if it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting.
Yet, Benavidez is also quick to admit that he's not entirely on board with the fight even taking place. While he acknowledges that Canelo represents the biggest payday in boxing and is therefore a target for nearly every fighter in the sport, he personally believes it's risky for Crawford to jump up so many weight classes to face him.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's the money fight, you know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you, but it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It would be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and and after this fight, what else are they gonna say? You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it shouldn't be. It should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, you know, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, you know, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But you know, I see that weight class, you know, I want to become champion at 175, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Boxing great Roy Jones Jr. has weighed in with his prediction, outlining two very different possible outcomes. He believes that if Canelo enters the ring in prime condition and performs at his absolute best, he will claim the victory. On the other hand, if Canelo is not at his peak that night, Terence Crawford has the ability to seize the moment and secure the win. For Jones Jr., the outcome rests entirely on which version of Canelo shows up on fight night.
A potential fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford. How do you see that fight? Who do you
like? Terence. It's
wow.
My friend, but it's crazy man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo.
Yes, Terence win. But listen, Terence, different man. Terence work in две стойка.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
Yeah,
And
switch hitter.
Yes,
He's a switch
yes,
hitter.
yes.
Right and left. But it's very smart man. It's very smart. But feel distance and place.
Adjustments.
Spacing,
Exactly.
boxing.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why. That's why I'm asking exactly.
Canelo big, yeah. Canelo too. It's good box, but I say that.
Wow.
Sean Porter, who has first-hand experience sharing the ring with Terence Crawford, has voiced some concerns about the matchup. While he fully respects Crawford's grit, durability, and all-around toughness, he questions whether Crawford can truly absorb the kind of power Canelo possesses. Porter knows exactly how physically strong Crawford is, but going up against a fighter like Canelo, who has knocked out much larger men, is a completely different test. He believes that even with Crawford's excellent defensive abilities, enduring Canelo's heavy shots will be one of the toughest challenges of his career.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight, or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What he got to prove to Boot? Boot trying to take over and start beating the guys around him. Prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Like, oh my God.
Amir Khan, having stepped into the ring with Canelo before, is cautioning Terence Crawford to steer clear of this matchup. After experiencing Canelo's power firsthand, Khan insists that the risk far outweighs the reward. He argues that leaping up to 168 pounds is an extreme jump in weight and could have disastrous consequences for Crawford's career.
The others say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So,
former world champion Caleb Plant sees Terence Crawford as a rare and highly skilled fighter who can be dangerous in any situation. While he acknowledges the significant weight gap between the two, he also points to Crawford's adaptability in the ring. In Plant's view, Crawford's high boxing IQ and strategic mindset could make this bout far more competitive than the general public expects.
I don't think that should happen. Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that.
Canelo versus Jamel Charlo playing out.
I think Canelo just outboxes. Well, no, doesn't outbox him, but I think just outpowers him and beats him to the punch. And you do give Canelo does have some sort of decent speed as well. So I think Canelo just wins that fight easy.
It'd be a knockout.
Could be, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Teofimo Lopez, however, doesn't see much hope for Crawford in this fight. He believes Canelo is simply too big, too powerful, and too experienced at the higher weight divisions. In Lopez's mind, it's only a matter of time before Canelo connects with a decisive punch that ends the fight by knockout.
Terence is not a regular guy, you know what I'm saying? He's special. And, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch, he's got good crack, he can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw, he can fight at mid-range, closer range, outside. And he can fight going both ways, so it's exciting, it's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it though, so that's why I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and be able to find out firsthand.
Ryan Garcia shares nearly the same opinion as Teofimo Lopez, predicting that Canelo's physical advantages in size and strength will be overwhelming for Crawford. While Garcia respects Crawford's technical brilliance, he doubts that Crawford has the natural physicality to compete on even terms with Canelo at 168 pounds.
What round does Crawford get knocked out? I'm gonna put 8. Let's put it on the universe. So I'm gonna put it on 8. 8. And if it goes the other way, I 8. I 8. So yeah, Ryan, Joe, and Eddie Reynoso also. That'd be cool, man. We all get work. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have our own underground boxing, me and Ryan, before we fight.
Veteran trainer Joe Diaz leaves no room for doubt in his assessment. He believes Terence Crawford stands no realistic chance of defeating Canelo Alvarez. While he fully acknowledges Crawford's greatness, Diaz sees nothing in his arsenal that poses a genuine threat to Canelo. In his view, the sheer size disparity combined with Canelo's formidable punching power will be impossible to overcome.
That's going to be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo is so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason, right?
He said Teofimo and Boots are going to to be on your October undercard.
Oh, yeah,
and the winners would fight each other. Is that what you were told?
I didn't know that, but I'm down. I don't care. Let's do it. I wanted to fight Teofimo too.
Last one, I got to do this. I agree with you that there's a lot of sanctioning bodies, there's a lot of promoters, there's going to be more testing organizations, not just one. Tell me about that. Why are you so adamant about that body?
I think that when a coach is pushing a certain organization, it just strikes me off weird. And for it to be like a mandatory thing, like, why can't I use another organization, But again, I don't want to talk about them because, it might sue.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has his own reservations about this showdown. While he recognizes Crawford as an elite-level fighter, he feels the size gap is simply too wide. Hearn also argues that even if Canelo emerges victorious at 168 pounds, the win shouldn't be overly celebrated since he would be beating a naturally smaller man who began his career fighting at 140 pounds.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Conor Benn takes a more balanced and neutral stance, viewing this as a genuine 50-50 fight where either man could prevail. While many naturally lean toward Canelo because of his size advantage, Ben believes Crawford's skill, adaptability, and ring intelligence could make this a highly competitive and unpredictable battle.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Shakur Stevenson is throwing his full support behind Terence Crawford, confidently stating that skills win fights and Crawford has the edge. He rejects the argument that Crawford is too small, insisting instead that Crawford is actually bigger and stronger than most people think.
With Crawford going up, I believe he can put a beating on anybody 154, 160.
But not 68.
Nah, Benavidez is...
Canelo.
Canelo, I think he's a smart fighter. He doesn't rely on his power. Crawford ain't a fighter who just relies on his power. And then Canelo, you know, when he's fought Belenga, then fought Ryder, Munguia, it's even. I think it'd be a 50-50 fight if Crawford fought Canelo.
Jeff Mayweather gives credit to Terence Crawford's superior skills and acknowledges that he may be the more talented fighter. However, he also cautions that Canelo cannot be underestimated. With his punching power and wealth of experience, Canelo remains a dangerous opponent who demands full respect.
I think skills pay the bills. Yeah. And I feel like, truthfully, he's not as little as people think. Like, people think he's like very small.
He cut weight to get the 147, 154.
Yes. Yeah. He's not as small as like people think. It's just he look like it. Yeah. So like if you see him in
person
and he get on a scale or something, you wouldn't believe that's his weight.
I told somebody the other day, he might get on the scale weighing like 166, 167 fighting Canelo, and people wouldn't believe how ripped up and cut up he'll still look. He won't look like he's overweight Terence Crawford. He gonna look like a solid Terence Crawford.
I think he beat Canelo though. I've been saying, I remember when he fought when they fought, go watch an interview after the fight. I literally said, I think Terence Crawford would beat Canelo.
Okay, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, a long time ago. Yeah. No cap.
I did tell him after the Smith fight, I said, man, go get Canelo. You the greatest.
Yeah.
This era.
For sure.
Yeah, it's no question.
No question, yes.
Actually, back to the you and Terence working together, because you've shared everything you've learned from him. There was fans doing their homework in the Avanesian fight and in the Spence fight saying, actually, it looks like Terence may have taken a couple things from Shakur as well, not just Shakur taking things from Terence.
Trainer Stephen Breadman Edwards believes Terence Crawford has the tools to defeat Canelo Alvarez. He points to Crawford's superior mobility, longer reach, and greater stamina as critical advantages. Edwards emphasizes Crawford's ability to fight effectively while on the move, along with his mental toughness, as the key ingredients for pulling off a victory.
It's kind of tough, but if anybody can do it, I think it would be Terence Crawford. I mean, skill-wise, I think he's a better fighter than Canelo, but Canelo is also a great fighter but he owns that weight class that he's in. So, I would just say that I think that Crawford has to fight almost a perfect fight to win, and take advantage of Canelo's mistakes.
Yeah, so we have, is it almost kind of a battle of, we have two guys, obviously the best, two of the best 3 or 4 boxers in the sport, regardless of weight class, but, which one is closer to the version of their prime, right? They're both getting older. I mean, they're both still, very, very good at this point, but, do you think maybe one of them it's time for them to start falling off, and that might be the difference in this fight, that one starts to trail off a little bit?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, both guys are aging, and you never know. You never know when they're going to show their age. So it could be either one of them that does that. But I mean, I just lean toward Crawford because I just see the dude has so many skills, and I mean, I just see that him possibly winning the fight by decision.
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas is picking Terence Crawford without hesitation. He's convinced that Crawford's skill, intelligence, and preparation will outmatch anything Canelo brings. In Atlas's eyes, this fight isn't determined by size, it's determined by skill, and Crawford's ability to adapt and think in the ring gives him the winning formula.
He slips, he's really good. But Crawford is just so clutch. His conditioning is so good. They're going to be about similar heights. Crawford's a little taller. He's longer. And I think that Crawford's adjustments in fights are so underrated. He is a master adjuster. He finds something in every fight and just goes with it. That last fight, people talk about he struggled. You know what he found that last fight? A simple jab. He just started beating the guy up with a jab. He finds something in every fight. And he don't fight a lazy fight.
Sports analyst Ariel Helwani offers a unique angle on the discussion. He points out that Canelo is aging, raising the question of whether his legs are still as strong as they once were. At the same time, Crawford, a gifted switch hitter, looked sharp in his debut at 154 pounds and appears to be growing more comfortable as he moves up in weight. Helwani believes Crawford has been preparing for a challenge of this magnitude for years, and with his high boxing IQ, the fight could prove to be far more competitive than most predict.
Not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford against Madridov, people are going to say, "Oh, he had some hiccups." Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat. He's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. But when you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter.
Crawford, switch hitter. He did all right in his first fight at 54, but now he'll get more comfortable as a bigger guy. He's actually not that small, this, that, and the other. Yesterday on my program, Ade, I spoke to David Benavidez, and I asked him about this fight, and his response surprised me. I want to play this clip for you and get your response to David's answer. Here it is.
It's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for, I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say 25.
Crawford is good. Crawford is good, and I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long, long time. And Crawford, he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long, long time. So.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to TKOH for more knockout content. From fight breakdowns to real-time reactions, we've got it all right here. Until next time, stay sharp, stay strong, and keep your guard up.